Hey there, this is Alex with Gray Area. Welcome to our series Spotlight, where our mission is to build a bigger and more united house music community by sharing new and exciting artists, festivals, and event brands with you. In this interview, you'll hear from Todd Terry, one of the architects of the New York house music scene. He was one of the first house music artists to achieve crossover success, and he's continued to stay at the forefront of dance music for over 3 decades. We'll trace his story back to his Brooklyn hood pop roots and discuss the current state of dance music. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for more interviews just like this. How's it going?
You know, not the greatest year ever, but hopefully we can party on for the rest of the year.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to being back out on the road again and playing some more gigs?
Yeah. I think it's just like it is a feeling of relief just to hear some of the same old songs and get back into the routine of things, and people are just really, they like it even more now. So because they haven't had it in a while, and it's just like refreshing, like in a way. It's like it's been done before, but now it sounds new. So
do you feel like I mean, I've been out a couple of times since California reopened, and DJ'd a couple of times since California reopened. And I feel like, one, there's like an entirely new group of people that are out that I've never seen before. But two, I also feel like people are more receptive to basically like whatever you want to do.
There you go. They're I think the new age of people is just people that they just couldn't make it for the last 5 years or so. And they just like, I'm going out. I want to be in the club. I miss that life. And it's probably something they missed. And so it's all like new to them. The old songs are new to them, like in a weird way. And it's a different crowd. Yeah. And we lost a lot of people too. So that is somehow something's filling that void that's been needed for a while. We needed a new, fresh start, I think, in a weird way. I didn't want it to happen like this, but kind of needed to shake it up a little bit and put it all back together. Kind
Absolutely.
of, Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you feel like I feel like people talked about being post EDM for a while, and I feel like maybe we actually are post EDM now, and I feel like we're in a space where people are like hungry to kind of go back to the basics or talk about, get back to like the roots of dance music culture.
I hope so. The whole EDM thing was, I didn't know where to go with that or how to look at that, but everybody has different type of music they like. So I, kind of left it with that, but, it wasn't my choice of music, never was, but I did understand the wave of it, I understand that, maybe people was tired of trance and they found EDM, right. So that, I think that was the wave of that. And then they was getting more radio play than house records. So nothing you can do about that, I feel as though that we need more house records on radio. We need another Crystal Waters. We need another Robin S. We need that on radio just so it can bring some of the popularity back to the dance floor where it needs to be, we went through some interesting stages in the last 20 years. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, definitely. And you've seen all that. Like you have incredible amount of perspective in dance music. Actually, you were like one of the first people to cross over into mainstream radio with remixes.
Right.
Given all that perspective, what do you think of the state of dance music right now?
Like I said, we need the songs on radio. We just need some of that. We need songs. Songs is what's got us to everywhere that we're at. It's just that, I just think radio just tends to shower the money aspect of what the label's giving them, and they're not playing music. They're not playing nothing really good. It's a big world out there, and we're listening to the same 5 records. So, I wish I could do Todd Terry radio and play 30 great records. Let me loop 30 great records instead of looping 5 of the same records. I think there's a broader horizon out there, but it's just a tough fight to just get a good song played. Even my label, we put out songs and people choose the tracks because they're brainwashed in a weird way. But and I'm trying to beat the song in their head, but they're going for the track. So sometimes I got to make a decision on where to put the money and the label. And and I love the songs, but the radio is not giving the songs a chance. So sometimes you got to back off on the songs and put out the tracks, which are getting a lot more play through Spotify's and stuff like that.
Right. Absolutely. That's something you've actually talked about a lot. I watched an interview with you and Armin van Helden, and you guys both talked about your love for songs. And I think that's something that you kind of grew up with, right? Like you grew up listening.
I come from hip hop to freestyle, then house.
Right.
So my wave of it is just looked at different. I'm like, I'm into those songs, those cute songs that you can dance to. Girl, you want my love. It's like that was the club feeling. And then the hip hop Run DMC and Big Daddy Kane. That was the thing. Now it's just like it's there, but it's the same 808 drums.
Right.
It's just for hip hop that it just destroys my bringing up of it. And it's a really a shame. It's a shame. So what are you gonna do? You just keep it moving. I tend to make beats like what's on the radio now because I got brainwashed just like everybody else. But and that's where I could play an old school beat for somebody and I could play a new school beat for them, right away. Their ears are in tune to 808 hi-hats and the same bass drum.
Right.
They can't help it. If you hear it every day, you can't help it. My girlfriend can't help it. I don't even play her nothing anymore because I can't take the look of it. It's like, look at it like, forget about it. Not Adriana Grande, it's like if it don't sound like Adriana Grande or The Weeknd or Beyonce or something, like they can't relate. It's just they're coming from their 10, 15 years of music. You understand? Right. So, just like I got brainwashed in my, my Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, Nas life, this is their life. So I can't knock it,
Absolutely.
It is what it is.
Well, let's talk about your days, about your Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, all that time. Because when you first started out, you were really producing a lot of hip hop, and you said you went into freestyle, and then you found house music. What was that progression like, and how did you decide that you were going to really go head on into making dance music?
Well, the hip hop things, like me and a couple boys of this guy rapper. His name was Quan back in the days. He used to live on Foster by Flatbush Avenue. We used to go over there and make beats, and we used to rhyme to my beats. And then we went to some labels. We actually went to Profile Records, and they liked the tracks. And he was like, "Yo, yeah, you guys got to bring back some more stuff. This is good because blah blah blah." So we couldn't get up money. We didn't have no money to go back in the studio, like as we spent every dime we had, and stuff like that. So it just kind of fizzled out. And then after that, I ran into another friend of mine, Zahid Tarek, and we started doing, I was already doing like some freestyle beats because I was always into, Arthur Baker and John Roby and stuff like that, like those beats. I was into anything that was intricate and very beaty. Like I like to do beats and be technical, so I started doing stuff like that. Then I started getting into the freestyle stuff and producing, Giggles and Coro and, the Cover Girls and Isis and Fascination. And I got into that whole thing.
Right.
And then, as the freestyle thing started happening, whatever, I rolled with that. But, I had some hip hop things out there fizzling. I did MC Search and bunch of different rappers and stuff like that. Did a bunch of that stuff. And then one of my boys, Trax and Mike Delgado, they come to my house with a cassette. And they're playing me this house shit. They're playing me like, I didn't know who it was at the time, but I found out later it was Marshall Jefferson, Kevin Saunderson, Juan Atkins, Derek May it was a cassette of all their stuff. But of course you didn't have the names then. You had no identity then. So they was like, "Yo, you got to make something like this." My boy's dancing around in the house, dancing and shit. And I was just like, what are you doing, man? He says, yo, you got to make some shit like this. I said, well, kind of sounds like the same beat over and over again, like to tell you the truth. But okay, I'll make some shit. So I made some stuff. I called him. I said, yo, come to the crib. I made some of this house music shit for you, right? So it was like Party People and 2 other beats. And he went crazy. He was like, yo, this is the shit. You got to put this out somehow, whatever. So I took it to a couple of my labels, Warlock and stuff like that. And they was like, yo, this is the shit. We're going to put this out right away. And then 3 records later, I was in. Like on some craziness. Like it was just everything, all calls at me. I was going to different labels, selling, beats or house records and stuff like that. So it was just, I didn't know what I was doing. I did it as a joke, and it worked. And so then I started to find out who I sampled, and I was like, "Oh man, I didn't mean to do that to you, man. You cool, man. I hope you ain't mad at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I ran into Marshall, and I was like, yo, and I found out this shit was yours, man. I wasn't thinking I'm a kid. It was no disrespect at all. It was more respect than anything.
Yeah.
But a couple of them was mad. The whole Chicago was mad at me for a long time because I was the New York Don with that shit, So, man, it was cool. It turned out to be, a really crazy career for men. So, I'm 38 years deep now into this. So, it's crazy. I look back at it, I'm like, oh shit, this is crazy. You know what I mean?
It's kind of crazy to think about back then. Everybody that was producing house music was really, it was like really a DIY spirit. There was really there was really no holds barred then. There were no rules. Everybody was just going after it in their own way. Like even all the guys you mentioned, they were really doing their own thing that nobody else had been done. And then what you did was bring that hip hop flavor to it. And you were like really you were making breaks, but with a house beat on it, these constantly changing beats with house beats on it. I gotta wonder what it was like back in those days to be a part of something that was so fresh and dynamic. And I mean, even as hip hop was starting to emerge at the same time, you guys were really a part of like something that nobody had ever seen before.
Well, but again, my life was moving fast. I didn't really catch it. You understand? Like you gotta understand. I would make like 3 records a day and go sell them or go bring it to other people's houses and just be bucket. Like those 4 or 5 years or whatever it was right there, that shit went by like that. That shit was gone because you realize I was making money. Then I started traveling. Then I come back to my neighborhood with new cars and shit and drinking and bugging out. It's like the life thing, then I had bitches, it's just like, it's like, it was just like, it went by fast. You know what I'm saying? Then I got a grip on it. You understand? Like, so then I got a grip on it. When I got a grip on it, then I started to notice some of the contracts I signed was bogus and all this stuff. So then the anger came in a little bit, So then I started changing into somebody different because then now I'm waiting outside the radio for radio dudes to be like, yo, you're going to play my shit. We're going to have a problem. So now I started gangstering shit, and then it really wasn't me, but that was just where my head went, and then I had to get out of that motion. So, I went through a lot of different phases in the hip hop, freestyle, house, business, the business aspect, because, at some points I felt taken advantage of. So I went back to fix that.
Right.
Because, I didn't want to get played back in the day. It's like, yo, don't play me, man. That whole mentality was a lot of anger when you're younger, So a lot of different phases. And, I wish I could have focused on it a little bit more, but you don't think like that when you're there doing it. It's like, fuck everybody. I'm the best. I'm going to rock this. And then I'm going over that. Then I'm going to be on CBS. Then I'm going to be on Atlantic Records, and your brain starts to swell a little bit. So I had a swollen head. It's like, hey, I walked to the club. I didn't want motherfuckers next to me. Like, yo, move out the way, son. Move out the way. You know what I mean? So it's like, so you went into your head gets swollen. You got to, all of a sudden you got $100,000 in the bank. You got the Benz outside, a Jaguar, boom.
Different. That I feel like, yeah. And that mentality's changed for you, obviously. I mean, you've definitely gone back to maybe the Todd Terry you were when you were younger, when you were first getting into things, and it was really like young and fresh. How does it feel to look back with that perspective and be like, I've grown a lot as a person?
Yeah, I've grown a lot, but I know to go back to that mentality all the time.
Right, when it's necessary.
Right, because what happens is you'll hear tracks that I do today. You'll hear that I go back to the fuck it, leave it like that. I leave the mistakes.
Yeah.
I leave the noise.
Yeah.
I leave the drum roll fucked up. Like I leave it. You understand? Because that was the mentality. Like, it's different. Let it roll. You know, leave it like that.
I think it's interesting you say that too, because I feel like a lot of producers, new producers nowadays, are really focused on being ultra extra perfect, and maybe to the point of like things are getting overproduced. Do you feel like there's more humanity in your music now because of that?
Yeah, that's what it is. I got to move a little bit because my battery's gonna die. But yeah, they get into it a little too much. And I have a close friend of mine's that he overproduces, and we get mad at each other. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? The shit is done. It's done, son. Why are you adding 17 synthesizers on the shit? The shit is done. So he can't get out of that. The snare drums got to sound a certain way, and that the vocals got to be extra tuned, and the arrangement is should have been like this, and he's going back and changing all types of shit. Right. I was like, dog, and I got to step back from him because I'm like, dude, now the shit sounds like nothing.
Right.
You got no attitude. You got nobody that walks in and goes, it bobs their head to it like, that shit's ridiculous. You don't got nothing. So, I try to teach a lot of younger producers the same thing. I'm like, sometimes just do what you feel. Don't even listen to me.
Right.
Because I'm gonna want the shit to sound like me. So why would you listen to me? So you got to somehow find a glitch in there where you're yourself. Because if you can't be yourself, then we're all ruining each other.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
In a way, we're all taking each other down. And radio and A&R departments, the labels and stuff like that, they take us down because as soon as a hit record comes out, it's like, oh, I wish it could be more like that Armand shit or that Todd shit or that Kenny and Louis shit. That's no good.
Right.
You just ruined all of us.
Right.
You ruined the whole circle by even making sure that record sounded like us. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the problem. When people get, they get stuck in that. And then when they do it and that record sells really well, they just tend to go through that trend. Oh, what's on the radio now? Oh, make it sound just like that. You hear how his kick drum sounds, and we're just losing. We're drowning like that. We just keep on drowning ourselves, and that's why we can't get a lot of records on the radio like we should, because we drowned our own demographic, and the radio guys, they drowned it too by not trying to put on a new good record. Why does that artist have to be on a giant label for you to play that really good record? It's a really good record. It's a really good song. So why don't you just play it? Let the people decide. And that's why, that's why you got Spotify's and all these other things, and people are not listening to radio.
Right.
Because they don't have to. They got a better demographic with them finding shit online.
Absolutely. Well,
and YouTube is the biggest shit ever. These kids are on YouTube.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
they're finding all this new shit.
Let's talk about that for a moment, because you're talking about, maybe the biggest guy out there is not always the most compelling music out there. What do you think about when you're signing records for your own labels to that aspect?
Well, I mean, the last 2 years, I kind of shut down the signing a lot of records to my label, because what happened was we would sign these certain records and stuff like that, and we would work really hard on these other people's records.
Yeah.
And just to sell, 30 to 100 copies, it paid more just to do one of my tracks more, because then you're selling 400 to 2,000 copies, or wherever it goes from there.
Right.
And we just decided to back off on that concentration, because some people were cool, but there was some people that was just kind of like, oh yeah, I should have some big royalties, blah blah blah. And I got to explain to them and say, yo, you ain't got jack. I'm gonna tell you why. You sold 400 copies, so that's $200 for each of us. And technically your $200 goes to Bill, goes to the guys that sets up the record and does all the metadata and really makes it shine. And I try to explain the records are, singles and records, they're just promotion for you to get DJ gigs. Yeah. Don't look at the money of it, because it's like two to three every year to make money.
Right.
Make some type of, 10,000 or 20,000. And the rest of them are like under $1,000. So, you can't really expect like money coming in and blah, blah, blah. You got to do tons of records to accumulate, it's like every now and then I'm handing Alexander Technique $3 and $4 grand, because it's accumulating. It's got to accumulate, and you got to realize that's a split. So that record that made $8 grand, you get 4, I get 4. Right. That's what it is. It's not 10,000 in your pocket. So you somehow some dudes can't add. Like you got to pay for the guy that put it together and everything. That could be $600-700 on just the work of mixing the record, doing all the metadata, the social networking on it. You got it's a lot of work. It's a different life. It's not just bringing vinyl records to rock and soul and grabbing the quick money, and even that process, vinyl is a mad process. You got to do a lot of work to set up, plate, and do all that shit, So, just different record business out there. It's just a different thing going on, I stick with it because it's a lot of it's fun to me, but yeah, I get sick and tired of it every now and then.
Yeah,
I really do.
But
I really do.
But do you feel blessed that you've been able to last this long despite all of this, the bullshit that you've had to deal with or anything that's happened?
Yeah. It's been deep. I mean, these last 2 years has been deep, to, have money saved up and then use all that money and go broke again. So this is like the 5th time I've been broke in my life, which it just never makes sense. It's always a world taking me broke. It's the real estate market took me broke. The 9/11 took me broke. COVID made me broke. Zomba music made me broke. It's like, these are, Warlock Records made me broke. It's always some other entity that takes me down, and I'm not afraid to say it, because in a way it's just wrong that they do that. They'll instead of making me good, if you made me good, you got more big records. Yeah. So now why not give me the 300,000 so you can make $1 million? Kind of makes sense. It's like you're not, but their mentality is to just take that chunk and destroy you, like in a weird way. Like their mentality is not with you for 20 and 25 years. And that's hard to realize that some people that were my friends made money with them and everything like that. They turn on you for money, so, they lie and stuff like that, and, look, it's crazy. Some of them died this year, to tell you the truth, maybe that's karma. No offense to anybody, but hey, gotta look at it. Absolutely. Gotta look at it. Sometimes you do people wrong, the shit comes back to you.
That's real.
For real.
Absolutely. There's something else you talk about a lot. You did a lot of remixes back in the day, like a whole gang of remixes, but you've talked a lot about the restrictions that remixes put on you creatively. Can you point to a time when you actually stepped out of the box and did a remix that worked, even though it was something that may not have been exactly what the artist was looking for?
I tend to give best of both worlds. I try to stick to the song first. I'm very song. I want to stick to your song. So I really don't want to change a lot. I want to change just the bass line and the beat. Right. And I want to keep your music and maybe make stabs out of it or something, but it is your music. It's what you sung to. Some other remixes, they like to change the whole music demographic. I don't really feel like that. I've learned from the Bible of me is missing. Keep the music, change the bass line, add a little tickle keys, and add a dope beat.
Yeah.
That's it. Let the song be the power. Because the producer's got to be the power. Who's going to perform it? The producer or the artist?
Right.
So you got to coincide it. But I never. Some people will be like, "Yo, just do what you do. Just do what you do." And I did what I did, and they come back. Well, we was kind of looking for more like something like Missing. And I'm like, you asshole. Like, okay, can we stop? Missing is written like missing. It has the words missing in it, and it has this thing in it, and that's missing.
Yeah.
And this is something going on. And this is samba. And this is Candy Party. And this is Bango. These are all different records.
Yeah.
Your record cannot be those records. Yeah, you can get some essences of it, but you got to let me make the new record.
Yeah.
So this way it'll be this record, and then it'll be your record and that record, you know?
Right.
So it's a hard it's hard to explain when because you got to please the label, the artist, and yourself.
Right.
Somewhat in there. And it's hard to trickle down to do that. If this group made an alternative record, are they going to appreciate me making it into a house record? You want to watch that. So that's why I try to keep their music and their elements in it. And then there could be other versions that have different things going on, but it's really hard to please. Remixing has helped and hurt my creativity.
Right.
You know, just because of the backlash of the idiot that I got to deal with behind the desk, that he's just working a job,
right?
And he doesn't have to really dig into his brain and know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to. He just has to keep a job. I have to keep a career. Right. So the difference, it's just a different mentality that you got to work with certain people. And I get it. I get it. And I probably always sound like an interview that's like, fuck you. And it's not that. It's just that, I wish they could just, trust my judgment. I'm there longer than you.
Right. And
I've been around longer than you.
And you'll probably be there long after.
Right. You're going to be fired tomorrow and I'm still going. So
right.
Take the ride the right way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Get in the right car. Don't get in the wrong car. When you're going to get the taxi, you could get in your own car.
Right.
So, it's just a lot of different, things with record business, man.
Absolutely.
Just fight it through. I'm still here. I just fight every day. I'm just trying to get the giant hit record. Just trying to, prove my point that, dance records are just as powerful as a hip hop record, and keep it going.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I just want to say, like, real quick, you mentioned Missing, and that was one of the first records in my life where I like recognized dance music as a thing. Like, your remix of that was like something that I remember hearing on the radio over and over again when I was young. Mm. So I just want to like just mention that, like, you've definitely done that over the course of your career. You've had these like pivotal records that have crossed over into the mainstream and made people in the mainstream really recognize house music as like a legitimate form of art. And I think it's interesting now we're getting to a place where the mainstream is really recognizing that, and it's coming back home to the United States. Like, over the last few years, I think something EDM gave us is that it said, hey, there's this thing out there. We need to all pay attention to it. And now legit house music is coming back to the United States. How does it feel to see that happen, to see things come full circle after damn near 40 years of waiting for the United States to recognize house music as like something that everybody needs to be paying attention to?
It's good. Not there yet.
Right.
There yet. It's not there yet. And maybe this year, me, Dave Morales, Little Louis Vega, one of us to get a records on the radio. I don't know. It's not 100% there yet. And maybe it's not supposed to be on the radio like that. I don't know. But like I said, I'll say it again. We need a Robin S. We need a Krista Waters.
Right.
We need a Dirty Talk. We need, Cash. We need Dirty Cash. We need one of those songs there. We need a Snap. I Got the Power. We need something that helps us a little bit here. It makes us come to the dance floor a little bit more, or just like feel it differently a little bit. We need to get something out there, mix it up a little bit, and that'll take us further. All we need is what these guys don't understand. All we need is like 2 or 3 of those a year. That takes us further.
Right.
So what you don't hurt us is what I'm trying to say. That's a good record. Don't hurt us. Play the record.
Right.
Let the people decide if they want to hear it or they don't want to hear it. You see it. You see, your demographics will show it right there. They'll show it. It'll be at 30 or it'll be at 10, and it'll show you. It's a simple way to just see that. But break some new records.
Yeah.
Stop catering to the same piano sound all the time. You know, we got enough of piano records. Okay, you guys found the piano in the last 3 years. Okay, good job. There's other, you know, there's other shit.
Yeah.
There's other shit, you know, we got it, you know. So, and you know, the Robin S noise. Okay, we did that already. Come on, there's some other stuff. You know, we gotta there's some other stuff, man. Come on, man. So, you know, look, I'm gonna talk shit about it to the grave. That's just how I feel about it, you know.
Do you see anybody who's doing the game right now that's actually getting closer to that point of being a Robin S or being that producer that may be able to make that wave happen?
Yeah, I mean the Joe Corey, the M-Neck records, you know, those are good records. You know, there's a lot of them they're good records. They're good records. There's good records, but there's some more out there that, you know, that have a little bit of the difference. They should be mixed up while you're playing a record. You just play some of these type of records too. I just say you got to mix it up a little bit more. If they're playing 10 of them now, they should turn it into 30. Is what I'm trying to say. Don't just loop the 10.
Right.
Loop the 30.
Right.
Because then you loop the 30, you're going to make that kid that's listening to the radio just at his extreme and make it more popular to come out to those big festivals and watch us play.
Right. Absolutely.
So you're making it bigger. You know, the EDM phase, they had 25 of those shits playing.
It's true.
Okay. Come on, guys. Just, you know, look at it. It's right there for you. And I literally, here's one of my big stories. I was playing in Blue Marlin, maybe like 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm playing all this dope house shit. You know, you used to hold me, blah, 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 this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm killing all these house records, you know, like back in the days, dope shit, you know, crowd going crazy, blah, blah. These two fine ass girls come up to me and it's like, yeah, oh, we love what you're doing. You rocking it. The crowd loves it and everything. But is there any way you could play house music? And I went, and I had to ask this motherfucker, like, what do you say? You say, no, sweetheart, this is house music. She goes, no, I was looking for something like, you know, like the Swedish House Mafia. And I was like, oh, okay. So what happened there was, you know, you got to realize those young girls, the first thing that they heard that they thought was house was that.
Right.
Can't be mad at them.
You can't. No, it's all they know.
Kind of, yeah, you really can't be mad at them. But, you know, that's just how crazy the world is. It's a backwards, you know, W, you know, is just retarded. So, you know, it's all good, man. It puzzles me sometimes. I just get puzzled. I'm just like, whatever. You know what I mean?
It's a great story though, because it just kind of shows that, like, one, no matter how much you're rocking the crowd, you can turn around and look behind you and see everybody dancing their asses off. Someone's always got to come up there and be like, hey, can you do this instead? So yeah. But also it shows that, like, this entry level dance music, there's a lot of people that move beyond that and, like, really get into the culture and say, I love this shit. I'm going to keep going. And there's some people that they really scratch the surface and they may never ever get that deep. And it kind of speaks back to that point of, like, hey, maybe real house music doesn't have a place on commercial radio, or maybe it does. Who knows?
It does. I just would like to see.
Yeah,
I like to see. I want to get one of my records on there. One of Kenny Louis record on there. I want to get Armand. I want to get a real house music Diplo record on there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
right.
I want to get in the mix. Let me get in the mix is what I'm asking for. Put us in the mix. Don't steal from us and don't put us, and then you don't put our record in the mix.
Well,
that's what I'm trying to say.
All those people you named, just give them one each, and it'd be great. I mean, and let's be honest, like you mentioned Diplo, all these guys have produced like commercial music that they play on the radio already. Give them one of the other records that they produce for all the heads.
I mean, Diplo got dope shit from back in the days. He knows what I'm talking about. So it's like, I don't know, just mix us in, man. Don't alienate us out. And just, you know, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, play the damn record. Just give it a couple plays. Let the people. It might be, oh man, I like that other record. It's a little bit different. Da da da. You know, you may get some of that. You know, but don't just be in the same thing all the damn time. You know, Dua Lipa. It's all good. I'm not mad at it, but mix it up. Mix it up.
Yeah, that's real.
I heard that record 700 times. I get it. I'm not mad at it, but if there's a broader thing going on out there right about now that they're totally missing, you know.
Yeah. It's an expansive like group of genres. It's so
it could,
expansive,
it
so
could be
crazy.
funk. It could be funkier. Like radio could be funkier. You know, serious radio could be funkier. Give me my own radio station, Geronimo, and all you guys. Give me my own radio station. Like, do something. You know, don't just stay in this. Oh, people are not going to like that. How do you not know? You gave them a whole year. Give me a whole year.
Right. Yeah.
Am I right? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, give me and Elro a whole year of playing what we want to play.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that too. Like you got people like you got promoters like Elro that are out there really pushing things hard, like pushing hard and to massive amounts of people. Like they're doing well. You know,
the numbers are there.
The numbers
are there. You can't deny it.
And the underground is strong right now. It's
big time.
It's very strong. And I feel like even coming out of COVID, it may be even stronger.
Oh, it's going to be ridiculous. People are going to party like it's the end of their days. They just went through dying. Yeah. People died and they came back to life right about now. So, you know, they're gonna look at, it's going to be a different crowd out there. I've seen it already.
Yeah, me too.
And it's different.
It is.
Like you said, you got some new heads out there. They're like, I don't care what you play, just keep it funky. They're going in. They're going in. So
I mean, here's to hoping that even if it doesn't cross over into a commercial thing, that at least revitalizes the scene and gives us a taste of what things really could be like, and hopefully that carries forward into like a new day, right?
Hey, let's do Elro Radio and Cyrus. Yeah. Hey, just call them up and do it. Say, look, we're going to program this with 3 other DJs, and we want the same thing that you got as Studio 54 radio in there.
Hey,
why
not? Why not?
Why not?
It's just as iconic.
There you go. It's right there. We did. You got that 30-year-old. You're paying the 30-year-old stuff, but there's a 15 and 10-year-old and 5-year-old stuff that just is rocking.
Yeah,
you're missing the phase. You're missing what the kids are really liking. You know, this is the kids. I'm not just talking about the older guys. That's cool. That's all cool and everything there. But I tend to go a little bit more newer every now and then too. I like the old stuff, but you got to have some new stuff mixed in there too. You got to mix it up.
Well, that's what
got to mix it up
in the room.
Look, back in the days, my DJing style, of all our DJ style, we had to play reggae, hip hop, funk, house, freestyle.
Right.
At the last record was a love song. Like, yo, what happened to that? What happened to the real stuff? I used to play salsa as my last record. Like, you know,
I love that.
Hector Lavoe, I threw on at the last record. People going crazy. That's got to get back to that.
Yeah,
got to get back. You know,
that's, open format DJing has been relegated to top 40 clubs, but it's it's great to see people bring that back into the house music style, into dance music clubs. I like to see people switching it up. Yeah,
I'm down with it. I'm always ready for that. I'm always ready. I got my disc. I got my whole set ready for that. You know, whatever I got to come out of the house and go to something else, I'm ready. I'm just so ready because it makes me smile. Every record makes me smile. James Brown, Africa Bambaataa, all that. It's just like, yes, you know, like,
I love to hear that. You know, I always love to ask this question of anybody, but like, what excites you about the future of dance music? Having said everything that you've said.
What's gonna excite me is the respect of what it could give, you know, and I'm hoping that it just gets a really dynamic respect. Like they just they give us a little bit more, You know, of course, I'm always going to ask for the radio station because I know that if I had one, I would. It would be just a lot of music on there. You know, just be a lot of music. I think there's a lot of music to be played.
Yeah.
Old, new, funky, drum and bass. You know, fusion.
Yeah.
There's a lot of music, man. Why is this not an open format station? You know, let me do the open format station because get it all on there. There's nothing wrong with it. We all grew up with all types of music, Latin, salsa, everything. Come on, man. Why do we alienate ourselves to these standard genres all the time and just stick to the same format all the time? But, you know, that's my dream in it. So I don't know if I answered your question. I went off into the stratosphere, but somewhere along the line, mix that in.
I think
just
you did.
Remix that in.
Right? I think you did. I think you answered the question. You want to see respect for the vastness of all the things that we really love.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So that'll be my dream. I could probably get a good night's sleep after that. You know what I mean? For real, you know. We'll see. You know.
Absolutely. Well, I'd like to thank you so much for speaking with me today, taking the time out. It's been really great speaking to you and just like hearing your thoughts on all these things and hearing those stories. I mean, much respect. No,
I'm glad that you know, look, sometimes every time I do an interview, I get scared of the guy that goes, so, you started out when, and then I heard that you did one of those records that were really big. I can't remember what the name of it. Those dudes. And then, you know what? And I helped them with the interview because, you know, obviously they don't know enough about me and they're doing the interview.
Right.
Okay. But, you know, so I try to help them. I turn the interview into guiding them.
Right.
Through the interview because, you know, how do you show up to an interview and you didn't do no research? And it's like, oh, you're interviewing this guy, Todd Terry today. Okay, I got it, Johnny, I'll do it. You know, like, come on.
You gotta put some work in, man.
Yeah, put a little work in or at least enjoy the music. Yeah. Don't interview us if you don't really dig the music.
It's true. Absolutely.
You know, if you're into the Dave Matthews Band, don't interview me. It doesn't make any sense.
Just say no to that one. Be like,
just say no to that one.
I think Jimmy in the next cubicle will be better for this one.
It is what it is, man. We could talk about it for days. I get it. You know, I love a lot of the interviews because I get to let it out.
Absolutely.
I just get to let it out, and I let it out all the time. So
but I love to hear it. I mean, that's why I do this,
right?
Because I like talking to people, and I love dance music, and I just love talking to artists too. One, because this is like little Ray for me is like flipping out every time, but also two, like I'm an artist too, and
right,
you know, getting to hear that a different perspective or just like chit chatting with an artist is just fucking awesome. It's great. Like it's great. Good conversations.
No, I love it. I love when the respect is coming back because I give the respect to you. So you know, you might be a new guy that just you need a little bit of this knowledge.
Yeah.
Can't hurt. And I need a little bit of knowledge from you. It can't hurt. I got here by younger cats all the time.
Right.
I didn't get here by speaking to the old cats. I don't need them. I'm old already. I already got I already know what you know.
Right.
But the younger cat teaching me, Ableton just came out. Like, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like the new thing. They got this, they got that. You got to speak to some of the young guys. You know, I'm using this. I'm using I told her this, blah, blah, blah. You know, keep your ears to the streets.
We all have something to teach
the young guys.
Yeah.
Small world, man.
It is.
We got to keep them. So you're going to be there that night? You're going to be over there at 24th or 25th?
Unfortunately, I got invited to come out, but it's like I'm coming back from Hawaii on the 24th.
Oh shit!
Like
that's a trip.
My first family vacation, like big family vacation in like almost 2 years. So we're excited about that, but also gutted that I can't go to my first Elro show in New York.
There'll be more.
I know this. I know this, and hopefully there'll be more with you, so I get a chance to run into you at one of these and get a chance to do this in person.
Oh, cool, man. All right, well, definitely, we'll rock it out for you. Yes. The spirit of you.
I know you will.
It's all good.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to me today.
Much respect. Thank you.
No, thank you. You have a great day, man.
All right, bro. Take care.
You too.